Every gardener eventually faces it, the heartbreak of lifeless soil. You dig your hands into the earth, and instead of soft, rich humus, you feel something dry, compacted, and grey. Plants struggle to grow, water runs off instead of soaking in, and no matter how much compost or fertilizer you add, the ground just won't come back. But here's the truth most gardeners never hear. You don't need more fertilizer, you need life. And the one ingredient that jumpstarts that life almost instantly is something simple, natural, and often free: fresh, unfinished compost. Yes, not the dark, crumbly, finished compost everyone praises, but the raw, living material still crawling with microbes, fungi, and organic fragments. This is the forgotten key to turning dead soil into living earth again. Dead soil doesn't happen overnight. Years of tilling, chemical fertilizers, and lack of organic matter slowly kill off the microorganisms that make soil fertile. These invisible life forms, bacteria, fungi, nematodes, and protozoa, form the foundation of the soil food web. When they disappear, your soil turns into dust. It may still look like dirt, but it can't hold nutrients or water. Most gardeners respond by adding fertilizers, thinking they're feeding their plants. In reality, they're bypassing the soil life completely. Fertilizers offer temporary growth but do nothing to rebuild the living structure underneath. It's like feeding a patient through an IV but never healing their digestive system. The real cure is to reintroduce biology, not more chemicals. Unfinished compost, the kind that's still warm, slightly chunky, and not yet uniform, is the perfect inoculant for dead soil. It contains a massive diversity of living microorganisms actively breaking down organic matter. When added to poor soil, these microbes don't just decompose things, they colonize your soil, rebuilding its ecosystem from the ground up. Finished compost is stable and nutrient-rich, but most of its microbial activity has slowed. It's like a completed house, nice to look at, but all the workers are gone. Unfinished compost, on the other hand, is full of those workers, the builders and recyclers that will rebuild your soil's living structure. When you spread unfinished compost over dead or depleted ground, you're essentially seeding it with life. These microbes begin converting minerals into plant-available forms, binding soil particles into structure, and attracting worms and beneficial fungi. Within weeks, the soil starts holding moisture again, and the surface transforms from dusty grey to a darker, living brown. You don't want to bury unfinished compost directly into your planting holes. It's still too active and can compete for nitrogen. Instead, apply it as a top dressing or a shallow mulch layer about 1 to 2 inches thick. Keep it slightly moist so the microbes stay alive and active. Over time, rainfall, irrigation, and earthworms will naturally pull it down into the soil profile. If you're working with extremely compacted or sandy soil, you can lightly mix it into the top 2 inches, but don't till it deep. The goal isn't to stir, it's to invite life back in. In just a few weeks, you'll see small white fungal threads and worm castings forming, the unmistakable signs that your soil is waking up. For an extra boost, you can activate the process by watering with a diluted microbial tea, just a handful of unfinished compost steeped in non-chlorinated water for 12 to 24 hours. This inoculates the soil even faster and ensures those beneficial organisms spread throughout the top layer. Once soil life returns, everything changes. Water begins to soak in instead of running off. Earthworms multiply, roots grow deeper. Plants stop relying on synthetic inputs and start pulling nutrients directly from the soil's biological network. The transformation is visible, tactile, and fast, sometimes within a single season. This is the moment many gardeners describe as their aha, when they realize soil isn't a lifeless medium but a living, breathing community. The more life you feed into it, the less fertilizer you'll ever need. Traditional farmers understood this long before modern fertilizers existed. They used unfinished compost, fermented plant matter, and animal bedding as soil builders, not just nutrient sources. These materials kept their fields alive year after year without ever buying a single bag of fertilizer. What we've lost in convenience, we can easily regain with wisdom. By reintroducing living compost, raw, microbial rich and full of energy, we bring our soil back to its natural rhythm. If your soil looks dead, don't reach for synthetic fertilizer. Reach for life. Fresh, unfinished compost may look messy, but it's the closest thing to resurrection you'll ever find in gardening. Once those microbes get to work, your soil will come back to life, darker, looser, and more fertile than you thought possible. Let your compost finish in the ground, not in the bin, because that's where the real magic happens. If this guide helped you understand the living power beneath your feet, subscribe to Gentle Herbal Living for more regenerative gardening secrets and time-tested soil wisdom. Together, let's bring the earth back to life, one handful at a time.